story I'm about to tell you is about Nature Trust and Nature Trust's first land purchase in British Columbia. In 1971, Prime Minister Trudeau had a conversation with retired Major General Bert Hofmeister, described as Canada's most decorated soldier in World War II. The Prime Minister told Mr. Hofmeister that he had a $4.6 million grant to create a unique conservation project in British Columbia. This grant became the foundation of the Second Century Fund of BC, which was renamed Nature Trust in 1984. The Prime Minister was also successful in convincing Bert Hofmeister to be the chair of this new project, and he was the chair for 20 years. Nature Trust's mandate is to protect British Columbia's natural diversity of wildlife and plants and their critical habitats through land acquisition and a management plan for sensitive, important ecological environments. After acquiring our property, Nature Trust has a major responsibility in developing a long-term management plan for the land. In 1973, a feature article appeared in the Grand Forks Gazette celebrating Nature Trust's first land purchase, 475 acres on the Gilpin Grasslands, which are located between Grand Forks and Christina Lake on the north side of Highway 3. A year later, a 99-year lease was signed with the Fish and Wildlife Branch. The essence of the lease stipulated that the management plan was supposed to take care of the land. The first range plan that was created, unfortunately, intentionally included Nature Trust land for the very simple reason a large number of cows was wanted on a small space. And to do that, they had to use the rancher's family's 415 acres they owned, plus the 475 acres that Nature Trust owned, and Nature Trust property was in the way of accessing Crown land. So the upshot of all of that was the fact that the agenda of managing land was totally lost. Native grasses have never been able to recover. The erosion from the cow has facilitated, made worse, the invasive weed problem. Certainly important shrubs for wintering wildlife, ungulates, have been seriously compromised, and all the water holes look like barnyard scenes. The centerpiece of our story is that we have virtually completed a small conservation project on Nature Trust property, an enclosure to keep the cows out of approximately 6 acres of their land. This enclosure, in due course, will allow nature to heal these long established wounds, all driven by the absolutely contempt for Nature Trust's mandate. Well, we've spent 2 hours dismantling a pathetic cow fencing initiative in 2009. It was all about optics. We've taken the time to take their pathetic fence down, and all around us we have a much larger perimeter fence, a wildlife-friendly fencing initiative this summer, low 15, just to show you the two dramatic differences. This project is on Nature Trust property that came with a lease agreement signed with Fish and Wildlife Branch in 1974. The lease agreement says the land was to be taken well care of, and our initiative that's well beyond us, the perimeter, is the first attempt to absolutely honor that lease agreement. It's pretty sad if you take some time to look at this ground, go up just over the corner here and look at the Lost Lake Lagoon. The grassland ecosystem is in trouble in our province. We describe it as less than 1% of our land base, home to most of our threatened and endangered species, and yet there's really no attempt to manage it for wildlife in the public interest. So we've made a small statement, so hopefully this will be more of what you'll see from us, and hopefully we might get some direction. We might get some direction from government. But just over here, just beyond us, 30 meters, you can see our fence, a real fencing initiative, a wildlife-friendly initiative.
For more information on this project, go to www.boundaryalliance.org. This wildlife-friendly fencing project was initiated by volunteers who provided all machinery, labor, and materials.